Coles and Woolworths have been given another 10 months to deal with thousands of tonnes of soft plastic waste left after the collapse of REDcycle. The industry-led plastic recycling programme started operations in 2011 with customers able to drop off used soft plastics for recycling at Woolworths, Coles and Aldi stores. The programme collapsed in 2022, revealing more than 11,000 tonnes of soft plastics had been stockpiled and unprocessed in a number of facilities across the country. The supermarket giants agreed to assume responsibility for the stranded waste last year. Now, the Environment Protection Agency in New South Wales has granted Coles and Woolworths another 10 months to deal with 5,000 tonnes of waste in the hope that it'll be spared from going into landfill. Gayle Sloan is the CEO of the Waste Management and Research Recovery Association of Australia and is with me in the studio. Hi, Gayle.
Hi, Ros. Thanks for having me.
It's good to see you. So what do you think about the news that extra time has been given to Coles, Woolies, Aldi to sort out this plastic waste?
I think it's great that the supermarkets are taking responsibility for this material because it's, I guess, the lack of funding in the system that's led to this challenge. I think, though, it's emblematic of the fact that the packaging system is still broken, that we don't have market demand for the materials they make, no different to the story before. You know, we can make materials, but we need someone to buy it back. And when you lose markets, you can't actually continue to invest in the sector. And we don't have homes for these materials. That's the fundamental challenge that we've got. We don't preference recycled packaging. We don't buy it back in Australia. So we're desperately looking for regulation in this space and it still hasn't arrived.
Do you know what efforts the big supermarkets have been making to recycle, to handle this leftover waste?
Yeah, I'm aware that they have taken this material from other locations and placed it safely. They are looking at making products, I believe, and working in partnership with other facilities to make products. The key to this is that people buy it back. And let's also remember the supermarkets aren't the ones making the products that have the soft plastic in it. They're the ones putting it on shelves and making it available. For many years, Coles and others have preferenced, in many ways, recycled content. They've got 100% recycled content water bottles on the shelf, for example, but we just don't have enough of it.
So what plans are there to replace REDcycle and to ensure that any new scheme avoids the same fate as the original one?
Well, at present, we've got the federal government looking at design standards and regulation for packaging because that's one of the great challenges with soft plastics in particular. We've got lots of different polymer types within it, so it's not so easy to recover it. So we need greater standards for design so that we focus on higher value plastics we can take back. We're told that this year we're also going to get a packaging regulation system, which is really key to actually having recycled content because we actually need to shift the conversation away from collection to production and consumption. We actually need to produce less plastics. You know, we need to avoid buying it. We need to consume less, and then we need to buy it back. We can't keep assuming just by putting it in a bin, it magically turns into a product.
How much soft plastic is being recycled by people in Australia now, and where are they going to do that?
It's very marginal at present, so we still have something like 400,000 tonnes placed on market, and I think there's a number of facilities around Australia trialling small-scale chemical recycling. That's very expensive and very challenging, and again, off-take market don't exist. There are definitely attempts by a number of companies like Closed Loop are using it in road and aggregates. We've seen others like Plastic Forest make products. Key to all of this, you know, we're talking maybe 20,000 tonnes nationally that's being taken back of those 400,000 that's still placed on market, is having end markets for the products they make. So the best thing we can do is avoid soft plastics.
But is there a danger, the way things stand, that with REDcycle being absent for so long that people just lose the habit or even lose the thought of dealing with soft plastics in a recyclable way?
I think the real opportunity here is to pivot away from soft plastics. We know that we don't need single-use plastics, and one of the recent recommendations from the Senate committee is far more harmonisation, consistency and avoidance around that. So we need to take the opportunity to move to, for example, paper bags, avoid using soft plastics where we can, and take the opportunity to change our consumption habits. We can't keep, in a cost of living crisis, buying products we don't need and just throwing it out. Let's think about how we buy and buy differently so we're not creating other problems with other waste streams.
Gayle Sloan, thank you.
Thanks for having me.